These are the tools that no one is talking about. They will take your projects from beginner to winner, and they're all under $20. Pole saws are a useful tool when you start out. Japanese pole saws are at the top of my list. They cut clean, efficient, with very little effort. But if I had to pick one, I would pick the flush trim saw. It's so versatile, and you can cut things super close with leaving very little marks. Next up is self-centering drill bits. Now, it may seem pretty obvious, but I've drilled many holes in my woodworking career that were so off-center, sideways, crooked, not even in the right place, and these eliminate a lot of these errors. These really shine when you're trying to drill pilot holes in hardware. This keeps it perfectly centered. These prevent misalignment and make sure your hardware looks professional. Bench cookies. They're not the kind you can eat. I always gotta do with the dad jokes. These are Craig. They're useful for a couple things. They raise your work off of whatever your workspace is, and if you're short on clamps, they hold it in position because both sides are usually grippy. And so I like to use these for sanding. I like to use it for finishing is the big one I use it for. And if you get the really fancy ones, they have a little point that rolls up. And so when you're finishing, only a very small point is touching your project so it doesn't leave marks. So these are super useful. When I first got started, my work was touching the surface and that was always a problem. These are really great to hold your work stable. Also just protects your project. Hey, you're pretty cool. Like and subscribe. Straight edge. Man, I didn't think I needed this, but now that I have it, I'm so grateful. Especially it's good for milling, checking things to see if they're flat. Also when I'm doing glue ups and I need a flat edge, I flip it on its side, I clamp it down, and then I glue up against the edge so it's flat. I also use it as a ruler sometimes to mark a straight edge. It's super straight and flat. So pretty awesome there. And when I'm checking to see if my project's flat, I set it down and I look through it to see if I see any light coming through. This one actually not quite as flat as I want. It's decent. You can go each direction and look. And then you can mark up your project where the high spots are and either sand it down, plane it down, or send it through the thicknesser. I also use a straight edge to set up my tools. Make sure they're flat and coplanar. I also make sure the fence is parallel to the blade. Calipers are one of the first things I bought as a woodworker. While machinist precision is not required, it does help with your projects. Good set of calipers that you use on all your projects will keep you pretty accurate. Second to calipers, tape measure. There are many different kinds of tape measures. This is my favorite kind for multiple reasons. One, you can write your measurements on the side of it and then wipe them off. It also has a pencil sharpener, which I find super valuable all the time. I always need a sharp pencil. And then last is the tape measure breaks things up into 1/8 and 16ths. And I don't know for some of you, but for me, when I first started, dividing 16ths and 1/8ths and all that got really, really complicated. So being able to see it on the tape measure makes it super easy now. Marking knives. These are pretty cool. Marking knives are great for precision and accuracy. I use them to mark my lines if I really need accurate cuts. When I first started, I used a marker. And for those of you that are advanced, understand why that's a problem. With the marker comes bigger lines. With bigger lines, your cuts aren't as accurate. And so with a marking knife, you can cut right on the line every time. You can put your chisel on the line, your saw on the line. You can also point out a direct measurement with the point so there's no drift. And also I use it sometimes just to cut double-sided tape, or when I'm masking something out with blue tape, it's sharp enough just to cut the tape. So I do love my marking knife. Combination square. This is also for precision and accuracy. Seeing if you got good right angles and 45s. This one actually even has a level, and it has a little marking knife, so you can mark lines with it. Squares come in all different sizes, but really what I use it the most for is to check things for square, right? Or if I'm doing some marking, if I wanna measure exactly 2 inches, I hold it there. I can mark 2 inches all the way down. And I can use that repeat. If I have to do multiple measurements at the same, I can use that. So pocket square, pretty cheap. I really like it. This is gonna be a divisive one, but 3M sandpaper, better known as Cubitron. There's two real kinds that I use. They're both net. As you can see, these have two different patterns on them. This one is more smooth, I guess. But the reason why I think this should be on all beginning woodworkers' list of tools to buy is I noticed when I started using this sandpaper, my finished products looked so good. There was no pigtails, better known as swirl marks. The projects felt so good to the touch afterwards. I've never felt wood like that before using the 3M Cubitron. It's a little pricey. It lasts a decent amount of time, but I recommend beginners start with this. Your projects will look elevated immediately just by using this sandpaper. All right, so that's it. Those are all the tools you need to buy to get started in woodworking. Which tool do you think should be added to the list? Let us know in the comments. Oh yeah, I forgot one more tool. Band-Aids. You'll need lots of these when you start woodworking. I got one on me already.